Yes. This is Arthur Lewis with All Farm Gardening right here at the Grenada Food Forest, where my mission is to get you growing. In today's video, we're going to vibe a little bit about the Grenada Food Forest, about my philosophy towards gardening, what keeps me gardening, what motivates me to garden. We're going to walk through the forest. We're going to harvest some of the stuff that I have growing here. So, stick with me for the next few minutes. Hope you enjoy the video. Don't forget to take a minute to put a click of fertilizer on that like button, and remember, when you share the video, you're really irrigating the channel and making it grow as my beautiful garden. For me, gardening is a lifestyle, and it is an important lifestyle. Gardening for me has a number of benefits, a number of important benefits. I especially like that it's a therapy for me. You know, it is something different than what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And so it kind of calms my mind, and it's a reset. It's an exercise, you know, and it produces food. I've been gardening for the better part of 10, 12 years. But basically, I've been gardening all my life. I've always kept a garden as far back as I could remember. You know, from since I was a child. When I was a child, I would do veg garden at my parents, and I grew some flowers. I have been kind of a vegetarian since I was a child, so I've always been growing my own veg, you know, beans, cabbages, stuff like that. And I've always liked growing flowers. I always keep seasoning in a pot, no matter if I don't have space outside to grow, I will find a way to grow. So I've been gardening all my life, but I've been gardening here at the Grenada Food Forest for the better part of, let me say, 10, 12 years, you know. Who's keeping time really? I wouldn't say that I grow most of what I need. I grow a lot of stuff. I have important stuff. I could get protein, I could get carbs. Let's put it that way. But other family members still like some of the processed food that comes from the shelf, you know. So we do hit the supermarket sometimes to get some of that. But I could eat here without visiting the supermarket for major stuff. The energy inputs especially, you know. I have yams, sweet potatoes. I'm trying to grow what we call the Irish potatoes, which is the potatoes coming from the United States and Europe and stuff like that. Once I figure that out, I won't be buying those potatoes anymore. Right now, what I have growing here at the Grenada Food Forest, I have, you see the nutmegs all around me. I have cinnamon, we have the cocoa. What's growing that's ready to eat, I have the pineapple, you know, which is one of my favorite tropical crops to grow. Pineapples, coconut, bananas. Every time I hear tropical gardening, those three plants just bust out of the screen in my mind. And so pineapple is one of my most favorite tropical crop to grow. And I grow a ton of pineapples right here at the Grenada Food Forest. I have bananas. I grow several varieties of bananas. If I could count them, I have plantain bananas, Gros Michel, rock fig banana, blogger banana, green D, which is a plantain, cockabole banana, which is a ancient banana that we used to grow here on the island in Grenada. The ancestors used to grow it. Man, I grow a ton of bananas. I can't recall all the varieties right now. I have mangoes growing here. I have limes and lemons growing here. I have oranges and grapefruit, mandarins, but they've never produced, but the trees are growing here. I do plan to get some more citrus to add here. Bread nuts. We have passion fruits. Right now, we have beans, papaya, corn, sweet potatoes growing here at the Grenada Food Forest. What I like most about coming up here, here could be a relaxing place, could be very relaxing. Once again, when you consider what I've been doing for the past 20 years, and it's part of the gardening lifestyle that I spoke about. The relaxation is a benefit that I get from gardening, and so I would come to the garden. I would walk barefoot, or I would sit here, sit somewhere else. You know, sometimes I fall asleep in this thing, and to me, all that is part of my gardening project with. Some of my most favorite things to do here at the Grenada Food Forest would be to plant the veg, the short crops, bananas, just about any plant really. You know, I usually tell people plants are my pets, and I love plants. As I've said before, I have several plant species, varieties, whatever growing here at the Grenada Food Forest. Another favorite activity here for me would be harvesting pineapple, harvesting plantain. Harvesting is so satisfying within its own self, you know, because you get the reward of what all these things here are about. So I love that. Sometimes I come up here with the weed eater. I get a nice exercise, a nice sweat. Sometimes I come with a cutlass, a nice exercise, a nice sweat. But there are other times when I hate those activities and I do not want to do them. Picking up nutmeg, harvesting cocoa. Harvesting cocoa is hard work, man. It's nice if you're just passing through, or you're just doing it once in a while. But if you have to do it all the time, harvesting cocoa really takes a toll on you, and it's not one of my favorite things to do here. The way that we harvest the nutmeg, we have to bend down and pick it up and put it in the bucket, and it's too much bending down for me. I'm too old for this. Nah, just like too much manual labor. I don't like that. So that would be some of my least favorite things to do at the Grenada Food Forest. Yeah, and some of my favorite. So this here is an example of something. Now I usually get my veg crops from, you know, any nursery on the island who do that sort of things. My favorite would be Delon from out of St. David's, but sometimes for one reason or the other, you know, I might not be able to get plants that I want when I want them, and I decided that I am going to do my own seedlings and so on. So I started this project with my son, where we just got some cow manure that we mixed and we put it in a tray and we put the seeds in it and we set it down on the ground somewhere about in the garden. And as the seedlings started to germinate, the insects or rodents, what have you, came and, you know, really had their fun and way with them and just violated everything. And so we decided that if we're gonna do a nursery, we're gonna at least have to be a little bit serious about it. So we wanted to elevate it, and we started cutting up the bamboo and we started sticking them in the ground. We had no plan of how this thing was gonna turn out or anything like that, and we started calling it the bushcraft greenhouse. You know, so we split the bamboo, we came up with these things. When we finished, we put the plants here, and well, we put the trays here with the manure in it, we put the seeds in it, and then later that day or week, purchase a piece of plastic from the hardware store and set it here and use blogger leaf, dry blogger leaf, to make a rope and just tie stuff together here and there. You know, so it was done really quick, but it works, you know, which is part of the whole thing about agriculture. You know what I always say, in agriculture we learn to build some of our own structures. We don't make a rocket science out of it, you know, we keep it simple. Although I do have some plans for developing this thing more. Now that I'm into this whole nursery vibes, I'm learning things, I'm seeing how I could improve. One of the ideas that I have for the 2.0 of this project is to have a higher ceiling, because this greenhouse thing works, and here is already hot. The island is probably already a greenhouse, and so the soil here dries out really fast, and the plants are in a high heat, high humid environment for most of the day. So I would want to make this higher so that, you know, I could get better airflow. I don't really need to keep the air or anything out. The only thing that I wanted to keep out with this here is the direct pounding from the rain, you know. Yesterday, day before, was very hot. We weren't getting a lot of rainfall. I uncovered this, and the rain fell last night, and you could see some of the plants here lying on the ground over here because they took a heavy pounding from the rain last night. Yeah, so that's all we have for you today in this video. I want to thank you guys for coming over, checking me out, hanging out with me. So we reasoned a little bit up at the hammock. We went grocery shopping right here at the Grenada Food Forest. So you can see right here, we have our pineapple in the bag right here, don't forget about it. We have our papaya, we have our rough skin lemons, we have some basil and some chives. We have mita long beans, sweet potatoes, we have limes, we have passion fruits in the bag, and we're gonna go home. So if you like the video, share the video, and as I always say, get out there and get growing.